Hello, welcome back. In the previous videos, we have understood the importance of functions, types of parameters in a function, along with different types of functions. Now, in this video, let us understand the very important advantage of function, which is modularity, by stepping our journey into modules. As a module represents a part of the program, it is basically a Python file containing definitions and statements. So, all .py files that we have created for our programs are modules. As modular programming makes programming easy, because usually a programmer divides main task into smaller subtasks to develop a function. So, let's understand about modules and file operations in detail. So, we have understood the importance of functions. We have seen how does the different parameters varies by understanding types of parameters. And we have also seen the different types of functions, right? We have seen built-in functions, anonymous functions, and how do we create them with the help of built-in functions like filter, map, and how does anonymous function differ with the user-defined function, right? The main thing is we also understood how does functions are considered as first class objects, right? So based on all those points in mind, we will understand the very important concept in programming, mainly in Python programming, which are modules. Because if you remember when we started discussing about functions, we said about modularity, right? That's where the concept of modules comes into picture. Why does we create a module? It's simple. Where a programmer or a normal person, generally if I want to divide my task into multiple things, that means I divide my task into subtasks, right? Those subtasks are generally called as modules in general terminology, or if you talk about in development terms or even in Python terminology, a module is basically a Python file, right? That's where you can consider a module to a file and a package is to a folder, right? In your module, you can contain functions, variables, classes, whatnot, anything you can contain, right? So you need not worry. Simply, till now we are creating multiple files, and I'll show you a clear difference how does a module differs with a normal Python script file. Because generally, creation of modules is very simple and very important, because generally programmers use functions because functions provide modularity. What do you mean by modularity? It generally a module represents a part of the program, right? Suppose if a person is working on some web application part, he divides a task into front end, back end, and database side. Because a person who has all the knowledge is termed as full stack developer, right? Whether related to Python or PHP or Java, whatever it is, every development part includes modules. Pieces, generally you can consider as pieces. But coming to Python terminology, it's basically, whenever I say module, it's a Python file. Then we will understand how does our module differs with Python mod. Our module differs with general module, and how does we can create our own module. Because if you remember, we have seen a simple example of special variable name function, right? Now we will understand how does that can be related. Before that, I'll show you a very simple program. If you can see here, I have given a simple example of greeting function, and I'm trying to use print. I'll make it very simple, because I may take this example or another example. I'll make it related because modules play a very key role. So first, let's understand what is a module by doing it practically, and we'll go for multiple built-in modules, like we'll be working on OS module, system module, time module, date time module, math module, calendar module, random module, whatnot. They play a very key role, and in turn we have so many modules. That is the reason never ever believe that there is such thing called as basic and advanced in Python. No, because it's not Java, right? Whether you relate Java, it is something like it's an ocean where you relate front end and back end. But Python, it's not basic and core. It is only how do you use these modules. Suppose if we are going for database side, there's another module called as MySQL connector, right? If you go for testing, or if you're going for web application, for web apps, we have Flask and Django. For data analysis, we have some NumPy, Pandas, and the finest thing which you see is the boom of AI. For that, we have the subfields of machine learning, deep learning, and wherever we have so many packages and modules, that's where Python is offering free hands for everything. That is the reason people are running towards Python. right? Because we have so much applications in it. So you need not worry. If you are able to create your own function, that is done. And you can include those functions and create your own module. That's where Python plays a very vital role. Okay. So first, to make it understand, I'll be moving into practical part. That's where first I'll open my IDLE. I hope you are enjoying this, right? So just make it practical. It will be easy for you. So I'll open a new file. So what do I do is, so firstly, if you remember, we have started using the keywords, and here to make our Python script as a module, we'll be using a keyword called as import, because generally what I told you, a module is a Python file. A module is a .py file, that's it. It can contain definitions, statements, anything containing definitions and statements. When I say statements, we can include repetition control or decision control, whatever, whatnot. So all Python files which we have created for our programs are modules. But when we execute them, when we execute a program name, its module name is _main. That's what I am trying to illustrate now. First, let me save this. I'll save in some location by understanding it as let me write some shortcut, understanding mod. That's my file name. Okay, that's where we'll create a simple function and we'll show you how does that is related as a module. First, let's see. I want to give a message for every one of you. Define a message. So what do? I create a docstring, because creating docstring plays a very vital role in understanding functions, because docstrings are something like description for your functions. The same way you can go for module or package, whatnot, because when I say package, it's a collection of multiple modules. Okay, to make it more simple, I'll show you a simple illustration. So go to your Python shell and you can directly click on file, open, right? So you can see your root Python location, right? So just copy this location, open your Windows Explorer, and you can just go to the location which we have copied. Automatically you can see library scripts, right? So if you go to your library, you will have multiple folders, and I may have some other different folders which we will be using continuously, but people generally have these folders, like something like you can see tkinter, url, logging, msib. These are built-in packages, and when you scroll down, you have each and every Python file. Yes, so these are all built-in modules, whatever you see. As I told you, every Python file is a module, and these are all built-in modules. Just go to your root location and see library. In the lib folder, you have multiple folders and Python files, right? So these Python files are generally built-in modules, and these folders are generally built-in packages. So whenever you execute a program, you can see these are all compiled Python files. That's where you see PyCatch file. And when you come out, as I told you, in scripts you see all script files, .exe files, and whatever needed for execution part. That's where it may differ for you and for me, but generally you have these folders, and if you create any folder new here, that becomes your own package, whether you create inside or not. So that's where we differ with module and package. First, let's understand how do we create our own module. So sample function, I'll write my docstring as sample function, and what do I do is, I just wanted to print something, or I just wanted to call this function. So before that, I just wanted to return some message for all of you. My message is, hope you are enjoying the classes. I hope you are enjoying, right? As I told you, you just need not worry. Just make it very simple. Always be logical, then Python will be your cup of tea. Hope you are enjoying the classes, right? So this is my return statement, and simple, you know, right? If you want to call the function, what do? You just call the function. I mean, if you want to return the result to the function, what do? You just call the function here, and this is where I just write a statement, call the message function. This is generally, you know, right? I need not make it very specific. So when you just execute this, what do you get? You get hope you are enjoying the classes. That's where in return you have, even when you call the directory of it, you can see message function. That's very common, which you already know. But what happens when I give print of name, _name, because it is just a Python file and I'm not using it as a module. I'll make you understand how do I use it as a module. So when I execute this, clearly you can see name as main, because whenever we execute a program, its module name is _main, because Python files internally saves special variable, because internally every time it is created by the name _name, and whenever we run the program, it will store with main name, or we can say main function, because it stores the value main into this _name until and unless we use it as a module. Okay, now I'll illustrate how do we use it as a module. So what do I do is, let me just keep this function as comment and I'll save this. Now you are going to create a module. How do you do that? Just click on file, click on new file, or you also have the shortcut by pressing Ctrl+N. Let me go with the simple option. So file, new file. Okay, that means you are taking a new Python file, and what do you try to do? You just write a keyword which you use import. What do you mean by import? You are just fetching it. Our country imports the products and exports products, right? That means you are taking inside. What you are trying to take? You just give your file name. What is your file name we have created? undstnd mod. That's my file name, because I am trying to use that as a module. undstnd mod. That's my file name. You can give your simple file name. So before that, let me save this. So where you are trying to save it, you should save in the same location, and whatever the name it is, I'll give the name as same. It's fine, because I'll show you what happens if you don't save both the files in same location. So you have just given the file name as same, and what you are trying to import, the file which you have created earlier, right? You are just importing that file. You are trying to fetch the content from there, and you just call the function here. If you want, they'll just make it side by side. What is the function name? Message. undstnd mod dot. What is the function name which we have given? That is the reason I have removed comment over there. I'll call the function here. There you go. So when you save this and run this file, run this script, when you click on run, what happened? There you go. What did you get here? undstnd mod. Why did we get this? Why did we get this? Because we did not give anything print over here. The first thing, because we did not give any print function here. Then how we are getting an undstnd mod? Because you have this print of _name. Okay, so to run this, you just give print here. So print of the file name dot message. So when you save it and when you execute this, you can clearly see two results. The first result is your Python file, because the name main has been replaced with the module name, and the result is you are seeing the function. You are seeing the result of that function, because it is returning. What it is returning? It is returning clearly. Hope you are enjoying the classes, right? Clearly observe, when I gave print here, without giving print, what I got? This entire Python file is giving name. Before that, if I don't import this, if I only run this file, you can clearly see only main, because this is only run as a Python program. But when I have imported that as a module, you can see that main has been replaced with the file name which we have created. So when I run this, again you can see the file name and the return statement which we gave. So that is the difference between a module and a normal Python file. So in that way you can create multiple functions. That's not an issue. Even when you call the directory, you see it will give you this file name, because this is the file which we are importing. Then our Python interpreter understands, okay, I should treat this as a module, because you are using import keyword, right? If you just give print of message here, and if you can run this file, it will give you multiple results. You see, it will give you 3 times, because first result is from the message call in this, and the second result is from the module name, This is where which I have created the module name, and the third result is from that file again. That is the reason I have made this as comment, so that you can clearly understand. That's where we have created this. And even you can also check, when you can give help of modules, it will give you the list of all available modules. It may take some time, and this may differ for me and for you, because we are using this version and we are installing and uninstalling for multiple teaching, so you need not worry about it. So when I just execute this help of modules, I should see my module name. What is my module name? UNDSTNDMOD. That is my module which I have created, right? That's my own module. Let us wait until and unless it gives. You see, there you go. It is giving all the list of built-in modules, and you need not worry, the names may vary for you and for me, but you need to understand whether we are having our module name or not. Our module name is UNDSTND, right? Let's go for U, alphabet U. There you go. You see, this is your module name. It is being fetched, and you need not create in root location. It is fine. So just ask help of that module name, press enter. There you go. You see, help on module, understand, and the name of the module is UNDSTND, which we have given in the description. You see, it's a hashtag. And what are the functions we are having? Message is the function. It's a sample function which I gave it as a doc string, and where it is located, it is in this location. That's where it has given. Here same is not module, same is the file where we are using UNDSTND module. That's where we have created our own module. Okay, to make it more understand, I'll be using one more program where, if you remember, in functions we have used the same concept of by using if else conditions. Okay, now I'll just illustrate that part. So for that reason, what would I do is I just keep all of them as comments. I just keep all of them as comments, and now what do I do is I just give in this way. So here I create my function name as display. Okay, now I create the function name as display, and I give print of hello everyone. That's what I'm trying to give, and I write with if block. So if I told you I'll be explaining the same part when I go to modules, the same part is explained in the above, but I'll make it related to the same which I told before. If name is equal to main, right? Here now it should print us, it is a module, not as a Python program. When you use it in another file, that is import, print. That's what we are trying to give. This code is run as a program. Previously when we call in function, what does it give? It gave the result only with if block only. It doesn't go to else block because we did not run it as a module. But now I'll run it as a module, and you are going to get the output in else block. I'll prove it. Print this program is run as a module, or this code is run as a module. Okay, there you go. Save, and just save this, and let me run from here, because what should I run here? I should again give, okay, I'll need not give triple quotes, because I can just keep comment of the second line, and I'll just call the function here. What is the function? What is the function you wanted to give? Just give the function. You want to see the result? No need of print. Again, we already have print here. The function, the module name is UNDSTNMOD dot. What is the function which we have created? The function we have created is display. Just relate this. When you save this, don't run this file. If you run this file, what do you get? You get the output hello everyone, and this code is run as a module and is as a program. It's not running. Why? You did not call the function, man. Just call the function, you get this result. But I'll not do this. I'll run that as a module by executing this. So save and run. You can clearly see name UNDSTNMOD not defined. Why? Because what is the file name which we have given? See, it is UNDSTNDMOD. I have missed a D here. Okay, that's where you need to make mistakes and learn from mistakes. So run again. You can clearly see now this code is run as a module. See, previously it was a program, now it was a module. The only difference is you have created the file in the same location, and started to fetch the functions from that file. That's where you can clearly find a difference between a module and a normal Python file, because every Python file is storing with the name as main, right? But when we try to fetch the results into another Python file by using import keyword, then automatically it understands that it is not a normal Python file but a Python module. So automatically whatever functions you try to create, not only functions, sample dictionaries or control statements, whatever you are trying to fetch, just use the module name and call the functions into this file. And what happens if that is not in same location? Let's do that also. I'll go to save as and I'll create in somewhere in documents. Okay, so the location is documents and this file is in desktop. Okay, I'll just show it. Let me keep side by side. So this is in desktop, this is in documents. There you go. When you click on run and give run module, you see a new error for you, module not found, because we are running it from documents location. This is in desktop location. Previously we are running from desktop location because it is in desktop and you are running from documents. How does it will understand the same location? No, right? That is the reason always save the files in same location. You need not give the path. You just make it directly. Just give the same location. Automatically you are going to get the result. So this is how we have created our first module by understanding in a very simple step, right? So this is simple. You just understand the difference between the special variable main and understand what happens when we create our own Python file and run it as a module by using import keyword, right? So this is very important. So just start playing with it. You can create multiple functions and you can also import all the multiple functions into a single module if you understand the simple concept of creating a simple module by understanding the difference between special variable name main and whatever the file name you give, which will work as a module.